Hello everybody, Elias5891 here with another KTANE module tutorial. This time we're covering Challenge and Contact. This is based on the game Contact, for those who are familiar with it. It is something that's played in the KTANE server a lot, so let's take a look and see what we have with this one. For this module, you are given a contact button, that's your kind of trigger button, your thing you're going to click, a clue, and then a hint, which is part of the letters in some order, hopefully. What we're going to do is taking this letter, we're going to convert it, following the instructions here, and figure out what it's hinting at with this clue. Once we do so, we for example, are you a one-letter or a one-word solvable module without an E or an A? Let's say we thought the answer was gridlock.
Contact.
The challenge gives you a keypad or a keyboard, a timer that counts down. You're gonna punch in your answer. When you think you have it, you hit enter. I get a strike because that's not the correct answer on that particular one. But that's the concept behind it. So how are we going to do this one? Well, are you the last word of a music-related module? J is our first letter. Well, what do we do with this J? Well, the letter screen at the bottom is broken and thus encoded. So it has a section if the number of solved modules is even when the clue is generated, or when it's odd when the clue is generated. Our current number of solves is 0, so that's an even number. So if the number of even module solves, if the number of solved modules is even rather, then we encrypt in rot 13. Rot 13 is where you just add or subtract 13 spaces to your letter. So A becomes N and N becomes A, Z becomes M, 1326, T is 20 would become 7 is G, C is 3, plus 13 is 16, 16 is Q, so C and Q would swap, and it is a bidirectional cipher. If A becomes N, N becomes A. So, if we did rot 13 on J, J is 10, 10 plus 13 is 23, 23 is W, so we'd want a word starting with W. Are you the last word of a music-related module that starts with W? Now these are legitimate KTANE questions. The answer is actually a music-related module with multiple words. So if you know the game, you can solo this pretty easily. If you don't, or if maybe there's some tricky things you're not sure, all of the possible answers are in the module. Last word music-related. Here's our list. And you may notice that I don't have anything starting with a W. That's because W is not actually our first letter. Although we did do rot 13 correctly, this last statement here, for the first letter, use the total number of modules, including needies, instead of the number of solved modules. So for this first letter, instead of doing it based on 0 solves, we're doing it based on 1 total module, which is odd. So let's instead look at the odd cipher. If solved modules is odd, or in this case, total number of modules is odd, which it is since there's 1, we're going to use the atbash cipher. Every letter is its opposite in the alphabet, so first from the front, first from the back, third from the front, third from the back. So A is Z, B is Y, and so on. Easy way to do it numerically, if you can do the numeric conversions pretty quickly, is a number and its opposite, as it defines it here, adds up to 27. So A and Z, 1 and 26 makes 27. M and N would be opposites, 13th from either end. 13 plus 14 is 27, so on and so forth. So J is the 10th letter. 27 would be 10 plus 17, so I need the 17th letter. And the 17th letter is a Q. So, let's go back to this list. Last word of a music-related module. Hey, we do have one that starts with a Q. It's qualities. Specifically chord qualities. So our answer is going to be qualities. So we're going to hit contact, we're going to type qualities, and we're going to hit enter. Now you may have noticed when I demoed it earlier that the whole thing flips over, so the status light pops down here to the bottom. When it does, there's a timer here, and it counted down for a while, and then it said OK, and then it gave a sad face. You have to submit when it says OK, and only when it says OK. Otherwise, you're answering out of turn, and although you don't get a strike, you also don't get credit for it. So we're going to do qualities and submit when it says OK. And remember, this keyboard is a little randomized, so we'll have to search for the letters. 3, here we go.
Contact.
Challenge.
U-A-L-I-T-I-E-S. Plenty of time left.
3, 2,
Waiting for it to say OK.
1.
Or go, I'm sorry. We're done. We get another letter. In this case, it's an H. Well, so we're not looking at the first letter. Now we're doing Route 13. So H is 8. 8 plus. The first letter's not going to change. So it's still going to be a Q. So logically speaking, even if you don't know H is 8, 8 plus 13 is 21 is U. Probably make an educated guess that the next letter is U. So QU, the clue is contact. It's kind of a weird clue, but it's really just the NATO alphabet. QU is Quebec. So, contact.
Contact.
Challenge.
Now you'll notice
3,
some of the keyboard keys
2,
flip
1.
weirdly, rotate. It's kind of an interesting thing. It's a little tricky, but it's fun. It happens. So something to be aware of. Last one, are you a module by royal flush? New letter is V. We still keep the QU. V is 22. Route 13, so minus 13 is 9 is I. I'm pretty sure that's quintuples. But let's double check. Q quintuples, yep. So let's contact. Let's do quintuples.
Contact.
Challenge.
T. Where's the U? P L
3,
E S. Oof, cut it a little
2,
closer that time.
1.
That's a solve. Now, let's put that one
All
down.
available experts, please report to room A9.
Here's another bomb. Are you the other one? I forgot I was in a static Zen mode. That's fine. Let's pull that back up. I actually did want to abort the bomb after one of these, so that's fine. Let's do one
All
more. We'll
available
blow up after
experts,
this one.
please
That's
report
okay.
to room A9.
Are you a possible word from anagrams? Again, we have, since this is the first letter, we're looking at the total number of solved modules. I'm sorry, the total number of total modules as opposed to solved modules. So we're going to do atbash. So K, 11, plus 16 will give us 27. 16 is P. So we need a possible word from anagrams. If you've played anagrams, you might know this one off the top of your head, or think you do. I'm blanking, actually, so I'm going to have to ask my expert to look it up. Possible word from anagrams, P. Ooh, now notice we have 2 this time. Which one do we use? Well, the rule, and it does state it up here at the top, if there are multiple correct answers, the first alphabetical is the one you want. So, we have poodle and pool, but we need to use the first one alphabetically, which would be poodle.
Contact.
Challenge.
Poodle.
3.
Lots of time left. Notice, I've got the right answer. If I submit it early, it flips back over. I didn't get another letter, reset, but I did not get a strike. On the other hand, are you one of the areas in murder? X, 24, plus 3 will give me 27. 3 is C. C is for conservatory.
Contact.
Challenge.
Let's say I misspelled conservatory.
It's time to stop.
It doesn't like it when you put in too many letters, as a side note. If I do it out of time now with a wrong answer,
Emergency
I do
cleared.
strike.
All personnel,
so you
please
only
return
kind of
to
get that no strike penalty if you have the right answer and you just submit at the wrong time. Let's actually do one again now. Are you the other word of a module with the word button or buttons? In atbash cipher is going to give me M. M buttons or buttons M. Button M. I don't know that one off the top of my head, so we go look it up. We have our expert look it up. Button masher. Masher.
Contact.
M
Challenge.
A S H E
3,
R.
2,
Again, we wait for the
1.
sign. Go. Your module by roll flush. Another in, but now we're doing rot 13, so that's going to give us an A. Maintenance, I think. Let's check. MA maintenance. That one I have trouble spelling, so.
Contact. Challenge.
10 A N T E
3, 2,
Gotta wait for that timer sometimes. Last up, are you a Monsplode? M-A Magby. Magme? T. Route 13. 20 becomes a 7, becomes a G. Magme sounds good. Let's double check. Monsplode, M-A Magme.
Contact.
Challenge. 3, 2,
Magme.
1.
Okay,
All
let's go ahead and let
available
this blow up
experts,
now.
Please report to room
It's
A9.
going to because it's in mode, time mode, weirdness. Alright, let's do one more. Let's up it to, let's say 2 modules, so we'll do 2 more. We'll go. Alright, so this time we've got 2 solvable modules and
All
0
available
solved at
experts,
first.
Please report to room A9.
So let's start with this one. It does have a little jokey thing at the beginning. Okay, module by royal flush. This is the first letter. So since it is the first letter, we're going to use the total number of modules. That's 2, it's even, so we use route 13. D is 4, plus 13 is 17, is Q. Oh crap, quintuples again.
Contact.
Challenge.
Quintuples. Quintuples.
3, 2,
And all of these voices, by the way, are
1.
people in the KTANE Discord that play Contact occasionally. I don't personally recognize all of them myself, but I know that's where they come from. Contact is our clue. We're past the first letter, so now we're going to follow the rule for solved, which is 0. 0 is still even, so we're still route 13ing. H is 8, plus 13 is 21, 21 is U, unsurprising. Contact, that would be our NATO words. I know NATO for QU, that's Quebec. We had that one earlier. But here they are on the list.
Contact. Challenge. 3, 2,
Quebec.
1.
It's a little difficult to find the letters sometimes. Last up, a disease from Dr. Doctor. Starting with QU, next letter is N, but we route 13 it. 14 minus 13 is 1, is an A. Doctor. Q. Quack grounds. Quack like a duck, grounds like backgrounds.
Contact. Challenge.
It's gonna give me a lot of time. A. C.
Emergency cleared. All
K,
personnel, please
G,
return to your
R,
stations.
O, U, N, D, S. It's a long
3,
one.
2,
I think that may be the longest
1.
answer. Module solved. Let's pop up to this one. Are you the last word of a module that requires audio? Now notice, we have 1 solve, but this clue was generated when we had 0 solves. So, since it's the first letter, it's not going to matter. But if we were looking at solved modules, the solves at this stage would be 0, because it generated when we had no solves. However, It's the first letter, so instead we look at total number of modules, which is 2, which is even. So we're staying in the Rot 13 world. Y is 25, minus 13 is 12, that becomes an L. Last word of a module required audio. Listening immediately comes to mind. But let's take a peek and see if maybe there's another one. Nope, just listening. So we're going to contact on listening.
Contact.
Challenge.
ISTENING. And we wait to hit OK.
3,
You may hear
2,
a background noise. I apologize if you do. Next up, possible word for anagrams. Now we have one solve, because this one generated one solve, which is odd. So now we're doing atbash cipher. L is 12. 12 plus 15 is what gives me 17, or 27 rather. 12 plus 15. 15 is O. L-O. L-O word from anagram. Looped is the only one that comes to mind, but let's double check. Anagram word L-O. It is looped.
Contact.
challenge.
Looped.
3, 2, 1.
They hit it. Are you one of the areas in the module murder? Lounge. I mean, I don't need to atbash the next letter. There's only one L-O. Murder room.
Contact.
Challenge.
Oh, U-N-N-N-N-G.
3,
And that's kind of the advantage of knowing the modules and knowing how some of them work, is you can kind of shortcut things like that. You know that lounge is the only LO room. You don't need to have your expert look it up. You don't need to convert another letter. It all kind of works out nicely. Anyway, that's going to be it for Challenge and Contact. As always, comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, feel free to leave them down below as always. Until next time, guys, this has been Elias and Baby Elias. We wish you a good day, have fun, don't explode. Bye, guys.